Hey guys, welcome back. We're actually going to look at the Paracyst because I rolled my Riven mod for it, and I got something a little interesting. Before, I think it had multi-shot and stuff, so it had better damage, but with this I have crit damage, and if you recall my last Riven mod, it actually removed the ability to crit. It was like the crit damage became like 0.6 or something, so whenever it did crit, or no, it was a crit chance, that's right, it lowered it to like 5% or something, like really low. But since this has 10% crit chance at base, this is actually pretty useful, especially since this strips armor so quickly that this crit damage actually really matters. And then you can also see it also has 2.8 punch through, so I'm going to be able to go through crowds really easily. And it's also got minus 83% weapon recoil. Now, as you can see without the mod here, when I just keep the mouse steady and fire, see, the recoil isn't that high anyways. But then when I put the mod on, it's basically non-existent. It's not a huge change. Obviously, the recoil doesn't really matter that much. But because headshots deal double damage, and of course, as you could probably tell, I didn't have heavy caliber, so I'll be able to hit the head a lot more to take advantage of the crits. This just makes it a little smoother. I'm not 100% sure if it does more or less damage than it did before, because before it was multi-shot, so it would be firing more bullets. But in any case, we're going to test it against the level 145 napalm and a heavy gunner this time. But first, we're just going to do a napalm. Let Taxon do its thing, slow it down, and then I'm going to aim right for the head. Good old heat damage will stun him. Armor's already gone. And I can take full advantage of the crits, and the heat procs are actually doing full damage too, which is 1,000, which is pretty good. Yeah, so I mean it's pretty good. It definitely strips armor the same. The thing with this mod is before it had multi-shot, it wasn't actually necessary because the status already gets to 96% on its own with just three dual stats rather. So the multi-shot wasn't that necessary, but it did help it strip armor even faster. Now we're going to test it against a heavy gunner, and remember that the heavy gunner is weak to corrosive damage, so it's actually going to be even easier to take this enemy down. People have said in the past, why don't you use corrupted heavy gunners and stuff? I don't normally fight them, and the fact that the heavy gunner is one of the few heavy units in the game that scales dramatically, like the health of a corrupted heavy gunner is significantly higher than the heavy gunner, and then the corrupted heavy gunner Eximus is even more than the corrupted heavy gunner. So it's just a ridiculous amount of health that I don't actually fight. Okay, got lower DPS. Fire right toward the head. There we go. And as you could probably see there, it started killing her really quick. But then once her armor was gone, it actually slowed down. That's because the corrosive damage has a bonus versus armor, but only if she has armor. If her armor goes away, then the corrosive damage loses all its bonus damage. I went over this a little bit in the WDR, as you could see in like the butchers would like resist the damage. Like they wouldn't resist the damage at all because their armor was so weak to it. So it would be doing like double damage that the weapon would do. So yeah, that's the Riven mod. It's a little interesting. I mean, obviously recoil, like I said, isn't that necessary, but it does help it become a little bit more smoother for longer ranges. And actually, before I go, I'm actually going to test something else here. And I'm actually going to showcase the tether mode, but not pulling enemies actually damages. Because if you don't know, when you actually fire these, it actually sticks a little, like a pus ball on them, and it will do damage and procs per second. So if I spam this, armor's already gone. Obviously, it doesn't do much damage, but now that the armor's gone, with just a few shots, now I can aim directly at the head and deal full damage. So you could actually use this at higher levels, but especially with Vauban, because he has the Bastille, which makes it so enemies can't be ragdolled out of the thing. So you can just keep going like this. So it's almost like the adhesive blast mod used to be for like launchers, where it would stick on an enemy and then deal procs, and then the explosion would do more damage as a result. So yeah, that's this Riven mod. Like I said, pretty interesting. I might try to roll something a little bit different. Maybe crit chance and crit damage. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, thanks for watching.